Hey everyone and welcome back to the channel. First off, what is P1128? This code stands for Long-Term Fuel Trim Lean, Bank 1. In plain English, it means your car's computer, the ECU, has been adding extra fuel for a while now to compensate for what it thinks is too much air in the exhaust on one side of your engine. That's Bank 1. Think of it like this. The engine is supposed to have a perfect recipe of air and fuel. P1128 tells you the recipe is off. There's too much air, or not enough fuel, creating a lean condition. The ECU tries its best to correct it, but after a certain point, it gives up and throws this code to let you know something is wrong. So, how would you even know you have this problem without a scanner? Well, your car will probably give you some hints. You might feel a noticeable hesitation when you step on the gas. The car might feel sluggish, or like it's struggling to accelerate smoothly. Another classic symptom is a rough or erratic idle. Your engine might shake a bit, or the RPMs could bounce up and down when you're stopped at a light. And of course, the most obvious sign is that dreaded check engine light glowing on your dashboard. You might also notice your fuel economy taking a nosedive because the engine is dumping in extra fuel to try and balance things out. Now for the detective work. Diagnosing the cause, the number one culprit for a P1128 code, especially on these European engines, is a vacuum leak. These engines have a complex network of vacuum hoses, and over time the plastic and rubber can become brittle, crack, and leak. This unmetered air sneaks into the engine after the mass airflow sensor, throwing off the whole air-fuel ratio. You'll want to carefully inspect all the vacuum lines, intake boots, and gaskets for any signs of cracks, splits, or loose connections. A smoke test is your best friend here. It pumps smoke into the intake system, and wherever you see smoke leaking out, that's your vacuum leak. If a vacuum leak isn't the problem, the next suspect on our list is the mass airflow or MAF sensor. This sensor's job is to measure the amount of air entering the engine. If it's dirty or failing, it can send inaccurate readings to the ECU, making it think there's less air than there actually is. The ECU then injects what it thinks is the right amount of fuel, but it's not enough for the real amount of air, leading to a lean condition. You can try cleaning the MAF sensor with a dedicated cleaner, but if it's faulty, it will need to be replaced. Another potential cause is a fuel delivery issue. If the air side is fine, maybe the fuel side is lacking. This could be due to clogged fuel injectors that aren't spraying enough fuel into the cylinders, a weak fuel pump that isn't providing enough pressure, or even a dirty fuel filter restricting flow can also be to blame. Checking fuel pressure with a gauge is a good step to rule out the pump and filter. For the injectors, you might need a professional cleaning service or decide to replace them if they're too far gone. So, let's recap the repair process. First, find and fix any and all vacuum leaks. This is the most common fix. Celt them up, replace the cracked hoses, and make sure every connection is tight. If that doesn't solve it, move on to the MAF sensor. Clean it carefully, and if the problem persists, consider replacing it with a quality part. Finally, if you're still stuck, investigate the fuel system. Clean or replace your fuel injectors, and verify you have proper fuel pressure. Once you've made your repairs, clear the code with your scan tool and take the car for a drive. The long-term fuel trims will need some time to readjust. Driving for about 15 to 20 minutes under various conditions should be enough for the system to relay. Hopefully, that check engine light stays off for good. And that's a wrap on troubleshooting the P1128's code on your Audi or VW. It can seem intimidating, but with a logical approach, you can track down the culprit and get your car running smoothly again. If this video helped you out, give it a thumbs up. And don't forget to subscribe for more DIY car repair guides. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.